We are live. Audio live.
Hey!
Hey, I haven't seen that show in a long time.
It's hilarious. Let's make sure that I'm not saying so.
Oh, hey, Tom, does Ryder need to update anything for his character sheet?
I sent him the updates.
Okay.
I already got it all from last session.
As far as his other stuff like the key or whatever it is, I have no idea how to do it, so I didn't use any of it.
Oh, okay. It's
And
just
I
like
somehow managed.
it's just like so many charges per day.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
Okay.
First
I
important
didn't
question
know.
of the day. How fast is Pat going to ask for a TPK?
Is he
I'm
already
guessing
in?
about 3 seconds.
I don't think he's here yet, but I'm just waiting.
Of course, Pat doesn't think anything's a good stream unless there's a TPK.
It can still happen.
Rory and I were talking about everybody's HP before you guys got on the Zoom because I was so on time. I was so early today, you guys.
I was playing with AI. That's the reason why I wasn't early.
After running so late last week that y'all were like, "Are you coming?" And I was like, "Sorry, poor planning. My dog had to pee and I timed it really badly."
Your bad planning does not constitute an emergency on my side.
You can log out, Tom.
Katie said she's on her way right now.
Yeah.
What? Right there. Fine.
Once she hops in, we'll just take off. We'll just go forward. You logged out the wrong one, Tom.
You're funny. One of these days you'll tell a good joke. Don't worry.
Oh, I don't
It'll
count
probably
on
be
it.
right before I tell mine.
Yeah, I don't count on it. I ever tell you guys I got banned in high school from telling jokes?
What?
I am
How do they
thoroughly
ban you from
intrigued.
telling jokes?
The circle of friends I hung out with would just not hear it. They would just like, don't. Just don't.
Oh, I thought you meant like
Oh,
your school
okay.
straight up banned you
No,
somehow.
no, I got shunned by all my friends though.
I mean, after
People
having
shun me, and I still tell them.
disconnect
So.
you for several years, I can see how that could happen.
Yeah, they're like, Rory, once a month you get a really solid joke, and then it's just garbage for another month.
You know what? I always tell people, like, I don't care if I tell bad jokes or good jokes. If I can make someone even just, that's all I'm looking for. It's like I tell my wife, a joke isn't a dad joke till it's full grown.
Yes.
I don't need the punchline to be apparent. It just needs to be full. Okay. Last session, my dice liked me. So as
Oh, y'all, this
I know what
Etsy
dice
shop
like
that
me. Yeah.
this Etsy shop that I've been following forever, like posts the creepiest puppets, and I want one so bad. And every time I've gone to the Etsy shop, they're always sold out. And they have one right now. And oh, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that. It's like this cute little imp. Come on, focus, focus.
Stick.
I
What
don't
if
know
you
if it's doing-
put your hands around the edges of it?
Oh, there we. Oh.
You gotta get your fingers closed. No, yeah, it's not gonna do it. There you go.
There he is. Look how weird.
That's like some Renaissance weird.
That is really like nightmare fuel if I
It-
want to do
But
it.
it's so cute. and
It
I
makes
want-
me-
I
Makes me think if you've ever seen. I can't think of the name of the book. It's a real book. I want to say it's a German book, and it's illustrations that kind of look like that. And like one of them is if you pick your nose, then someone will come by and chop off, like cut your fingers off, right? Like it's this weird book.
Oh, like
Well,
the
you've all read
Scarecrow's
scary
story.
stories to tell in the dark, right?
Those
No.
aren't that scary though.
Well, it's like for children, but the illustrations in them were so freaky.
Yeah.
They were like the grossest pictures, the spiders crawling out of the girl's face, and like those were my favorite books growing up. Those and all the Goosebumps books. I'm sure you're all so surprised.
Yeah,
No,
completely.
not at all.
As I play the metal goth clown.
I am so surprised that
Beyond
Jubilee
shocked.
read.
You know, it'd be. What's up, Sky?
That's essentially what Krampus is too. He's just the
Yes,
opposite of
Krampus
Santa.
is
So,
he's
like,
the anti-Santa. If your kid is bad, he comes and he puts
He's
them in
not,
a
like,
satchel and he
actually
beats
evil.
them.
That just
He beats them with a
confirms Hank.
stick.
Is Krampus the Futurama Santa, or is that?
He's the goat-looking one with the big horns.
Yeah, he's supposed to be. I think he is supposed to be like he's like a human-sized goat that like walks on its hind legs or something. He has like the big ram horns.
Oddly, how legitimately
goat-sized human.
anti-Claus that is.
Yeah.
It's basically a Santa Claus demon.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
he's-
because
he's
Santa
pretty
Claus
much
is
supposed
supposed
to
to
be like
be
a
Saint Patrick or Saint Claus.
Yeah, he's
Saint.
like
Saint
supposed
Nick.
to be a
Saint
Christmas
Nick.
devil. And then if your kid is bad, he comes to your house the same way that Santa does. He's dressed as Santa Claus and he comes down your chimney and he kidnaps the kids and beats them with a stick on the way to hell.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, he kills them. So like,
Alrighty then.
yeah.
That
he
sounds
is evil, but he's not
fantastic.
like
Krampus,
just
really?
randomly
There's a
evil.
movie called Krampus, and it is creepy as heck.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'm out. I'm done. Nope.
There are Krampus
Yeah.
Christmas festivals
No.
in I think it's Germany where they literally do like a parade of all different Krampuses. People
And
dress
people,
up
like,
and they have a big
cosplay.
parade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah, they started that so kids would behave.
Yeah.
Because it's only if the kids are bad that he comes.
Get kidnapped by Krampus.
So it's not
it's
like
an extreme version of the naughty list.
Yeah.
He's not like a chaotically evil entity.
Your name isn't on the naughty list. It is the
No,
naughty
he's what
list.
they would consider like a lawful evil. He
Yeah, it's
believes
just
what he's
ruling
doing
by
is truly
fear.
for the benefit of the
It's
world.
survival
yeah.
of the fittest.
No,
So-
no.
So Rory, that's what you and I were talking about yesterday. If Vance were to go lawful evil instead of lawful good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love this because everyone here is like, "Oh God, this is so creepy," and Skylar and I are like, "Yeah, Krampus."
Well, creepy, but it actually brought
Oh no,
what is
Rory
it?
has ideas. He's
love
ready to
and
be
love and
BBT
peace.
right now.
Rule by love and peace. I think is what the book is. I forget what it's about, but it's about ruling either in dominating fear into people or loving them. Right? Does the king rule with love or does he rule with fear?
Are you talking about War and Peace?
I don't think so. It might be.
No, what's that saying? Like, I'd rather be feared than loved, or something like that. People say that.
That's where it comes from. I don't know. I have the book in my house, but it's yeah. Anyways, anyone want to play some D&D?
Hey.
Let's play
I
D&D.
suppose we could.
Dungeons and Drunks? No.
All right.
It was so funny. My
Don't
boyfriend
hit
saw me
that
walking
button.
through the house with this can, and he was like, "Are you drinking a beer?" I was like, "No, it's just sparkling water. I'm sorry to be so unexciting. It's literally just lemon lime seltzer."
And we are video live on that note of beer like sparkling water.
I'm Cricket today.
Oh, do I? Oh, I do. I do have you in the wrong spot. I thought I had it.
The
Don't
lady
kill
switched
bear.
spots today.
Don't kill bear. Oh, that means
So
I get to be
close.
chaotic.
You want to do the
You
voice?
said kill bear.
Can you do the
You're
laugh?
done having no more bear.
I don't know. I don't think I can do it well.
If Bear dies, I'm done.
Yeah. He was close, by the way, last time.
Yeah, did you watch? I don't know
Yeah.
if you saw the update or watched it, Ryder. but
Bear
he
got
knocked unconscious
toasted.
twice. The whatever Malachi, the bad guy, literally
Yeah.
targeted Bear out of anybody. I was like,
My
oh,
goodness.
Rory.
Well, I mean,
no,
it was
no,
bear
no.
and cricket.
Okay, yeah, but one of
But
us
it
was
was Bear.
squishier than the other. Yeah.
You
Uh,
just
You,
wanna
like,
bring the
We're
suffering.
going for cricket, and then he wanted to just bring pain to cricket. So
Absolutely.
Bear.
This guy like
Literally.
hated cricket.
Well,
Well,
to be fair, he
your
didn't
dog.
hate me. He hated Cricket's parents.
Well, yes, that is
Mm.
true. Yeah. So you guys want to hop into it? Do a little recap, or
I feel like we should do a recap since Ryder wasn't here too.
sounds good. Let's
Please,
let's
please.
do a recap.
Oh, I thought Ryder was giving it this time. No. Okay, I'll be. So we started off last session in combat as Malachi was just continually mocking Cricket, as a lot of us have said, to the point where not only is he attacking Cricket, he was attacking Bear, made a lot of very angry players. He also mocked her bloodline throughout every single attack, just to bring as deep as suffering as possible as he could. He used some psychic abilities to make us think that he was moving and attacking, using some specialized stones. And finally, right before we took Malachi out, he actually laid a massive attack against the ground. Ryu had him grappled and took him out with some really awesome critical unarmed strikes. Right after Malachi went down, a raven came out of Jubilee's cloak, took the spirit of Malachi after having a crazy conversation with her, just super deep about life and death. The group gave Cricket the staff that Malachi was using, and about, within seconds of getting the staff, her parents appeared as shimmering images and told her about the staff she was holding, how they were proud of her, that she's now the leader of the Whispering Pines, and that as long as she wields the staff, that she's the leader of that good group. And finally, we started doing some looting. We found some money. I found some tuning fork. As we started looting, the ceiling started to cave in, and then we all remembered Malachi's last attack, where he literally just shattered the ground with some vines. Ran into what we thought was his bedroom, found a chest that Jubilee went into, pulled her out because she said she couldn't breathe. It was all dark. And now Vantiller's currently pulling that through the temple, just trying to barrage his way through. And we ended the session running through the cave. We're looking to the spot where we had those first elemental golems and that vine area, so we can maybe try to get through to that.
And I didn't give you a very good description last time of that chest. So it stands about 3 feet tall and 4 feet wide. So it's a hefty chest. It has brass handles shaped like grinning gargoyles. The lid is topped with a miniature forest scene, complete with tiny animated animals that seem to move ever so slightly when you're not looking. The lock is an ornate golden keyhole that hums a gentle lullaby when touched. So these are things you would have seen when you were messing with it before you started to run out.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
So Vantiller's pulling that thing out as fast as he can, as just because he wants to explore it later on.
And you guys did make it back through a series of checks, back to essentially where the were-rat's little chamber is, and that is where we are.
This is where he starts a timer.
Oh, no, that's a good reminder, though, because I am setting a timer.
Oh, no, remind him, no!
Well, there's my nat 1 for the day. I like to make it, nope, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. Okay, so we're back where the were-rats are.
Essentially, yeah. You can see on your screen here, you're outside of that entrance that would go in there.
Okay, now I'm just trying to think. So,
as you've entered this area, some of the shaking has calmed. There's still slight tremors that happen, but comparatively to the walls crumbling and the ceiling falling, it seems like in this particular area it has calmed quite a bit.
And we've gone up the stairs, so we would essentially be above where we were running through. So in this case, it may be the floor going out, not the ceiling, correct?
Correct. If it goes out, that very well could be.
Also, I might have missed if Tom said this in his wrap-up or review or whatever, but we also passed the snake already, right?
Yes,
correct. Yep.
And what was the two-headed guy's name?
Thaddeus and Eileen.
Eileen, that's right. Yes.
And you haven't seen Thaddeus or Eileen?
No, we haven't.
We saw them by the
room.
snake.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't
He
recall
was
that.
like-
Because the snake got crushed by a falling boulder.
Yeah, but he hadn't moved past the room
That's
the
right.
snake was in.
That's right.
He was like crouched and like hiding outside of that room.
Okay, so the giant
that
snake
was-
released his death.
Yeah, well, we saw giant rocks fall on top of him, so
Okay.
probably, but also we don't know for sure. We didn't like go up and poke it. We were running.
I'm gonna take the being that we're like right here, we've got a little bit of stability. Just taking a quick breather. I look at the group and like, we're probably what, like halfway here, guys. Cricket, what I'm thinking is, I wonder if we get back to those vines, using that staff. I wonder if it'll actually open up like a deeper, almost like a passageway. Because before, you know, I put my dagger through, we couldn't feel the end of it. So I wonder if the staff has the ability to open the vines or something like that, and maybe that'll actually lead us to his true bedroom.
Yeah, I'm willing to try the staff. I have some ideas myself as well of what I might be able to do to try and get rid of them. But do we want to try and maybe warn the were-rats, our friends, that we're trying to get out of here? I know we told them that we're going to try that.
Sure. As she says that, I walk up to that narrow passageway, and as loud as I can, I'm letting him know that we're trying to get out of here because the place is beginning to cave in. Just in true Vantlord, I'm, you know, bull in a china shop. You know, so you got this, you know, 4 foot 9 inch tall dwarf, chest behind him, you know, with both arms. Just imagine him yelling as loud as possible. That's exactly what I'm doing. And I can already see Cricket just shaking her head at me, with, you know, almost face palming so deep her nose is in her elbow. Is that about right?
Yeah. Did we hear any response?
Yeah, you hear some clanking around on the other side. It sounds like, I mean, they've definitely heard. You hear some of them talking, some kind of muffled talking because of the distance to them. But you definitely hear them on the other side, moving around.
We're not real sure where the exit is, but we're headed back to try and find it. And if you end up following in our path, maybe you can follow us out.
It's not even an exit.
We don't know.
Are we sure?
We have no idea how to get out of here.
Done. It's like a bull in a china
There's
shop.
not one. I'm just convinced that we're going to have to somehow dig our way out of here, or something.
Dig our way? What do you mean? Like with a shovel?
No, like you know when you hear about people that end up in cells and they take spoons and they dig their way out. I feel like that's what's gonna have to happen because there's no way out of here. I think I'm going a little insane, a little bit.
Yeah, we haven't
than
seen the light of
usual.
day. We haven't seen the light of day in a lot of days, so I feel
It's
you.
so long.
Too long. Well, okay, but here's the thing, Jubilee. Obviously, there's a way out because my parents got out, and clearly, I think maybe some other people got out. Well, actually, I don't really know if anyone else got out, but at least they did. So there's obviously a way.
There has to be, but I don't know.
I wonder if there's a teleportation circle like we've.
Well, we didn't say anything in his area, but it was also collapsing, and we didn't have like a ton of time to look for things.
I also don't know 100% know if that was actually his bedroom.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looked like where he might have been sleeping, though.
In your comments as you're talking, Cricket, one of the men reached the edge there where Bantalord's at. I mean, it's very likely that something may have even changed. Whatever path your parents took may not even be left anymore.
Don't say that,
Well,
please.
yeah, that is not the kind of attitude we need right now. We need positive optimism. All right?
I'm just saying, I've been here a long time. I haven't found a way out.
Well, we're gonna try. If
And-
nothing
As he
else,
says that-
I still a little bit of me suspects that it might be in that chest. Like maybe
look-
you just gotta hold your breath for a little while, and then you'll like come through on the other side. Cause
Well, what
Jubilee,
about
you did not drop down. It was just like empty air,
I was
right?
going to say I only really hung there with my hands on the side. So what if we put a rope? Like what if you all hold a rope? Cause I'll go down there again.
Especially since we're not being like boulders aren't raining on our head right now. I feel like
Right,
we
we
might be
have a
able
minute
to
to
try
kind
it.
of handle things if we need to. Just please
I'm
don't let
sorry.
me float away.
I'll hold on the rope for you.
Yeah, I feel like you're small enough that if we all hold on to the rope, we can keep balance. You know, hold on to your weight.
All right.
Okay, so are we just doing this right here, like in the hallway?
Let's do it right here.
Time's
Okay.
the essence, and this seems like our best option right now.
All right.
Why wait? Just open the chest. in
Should
the
we?
middle of
Well,
this
wait, hold on.
hallway.
How far are we from that? Like, I think we're pretty close to the vines we wanted to check. Should we just go there and see first before we get ourselves into a new pickle?
Pickle, I'm hungry.
You can have
Alright.
pickles when we get out of here, Rantalord.
I mean, you're saying a mysterious magical chest is a pickle? Well, I mean, seems like a sure bet to me.
Yeah. We've had real good luck just walking into unknown magical potential portals in the past, you know? Nobody's ever gotten sucked into a mirror before or anything else.
What?
Yeah.
I look at Cricket. I'm like, could you say that any more sarcastically?
All right. Well, I think we should just check that out first and then decide.
You don't gotta tell me twice.
Keep moving then.
Hey, Jubilee, will you roll a D100?
A D100?
What?
That's not concerning.
Yeah,
at
I
all.
know, right?
Just a D100, or you like want me to roll the D10 with it? Like you want
Like a
number
D10,
between...
two D10s and
You want a percentile.
percentile dice. Yeah.
Okay. I like never roll percentile dice, so I always get confused about how to do it. A 20.
Total of 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I
Yeah,
roll
two
a
zero and a
zero,
zero?
yeah, I
It's
got 2
zero.
0 and a 0.
Yeah.
So it's 20.
Yep, it's
Right?
just 20.
Okay.
All right.
Oh no,
Okay.
do I have like a 20% chance of living now? Is that what I just did to myself?
We'll see.
Oh god.
Okay. Go ahead.
So as
Continue.
As they say that we're gonna continue going down there, you're just gonna see Vantilor just say, okay. Again, arms behind his back. You just see this little dwarf running as fast as he can, pulling a chest. It's as loud as heck.
What's the marching order, as you guys? Is everyone heading towards those vines that you're talking about, or?
I am.
Yeah.
And the four individuals are out as well. So how do you guys want to proceed?
Oh, for
Maybe I
the,
look at
the
them when I
winter
say,
rats?
hey, you
Yeah.
guys want to ride in the chest?
No,
I'm just
don't.
gonna say-
We don't know what happens in there. They might die.
I'm gonna say do whatever
They
you
might
guys
die if they
want.
stay here.
We've told them that we're trying to find a way out. They can do what they want.
What
If you follow-
what order are you guys going in?
Oh, jeez.
Vantilor's causing chaos.
I'll go first. I feel like
I feel
Bantalord will probably go the slowest because he's dragging this chest.
I feel like maybe we should send Rihu first or Raja, just in case. They're both like pretty
Fine, this-
sneaky.
That's
To the
true. I was
vines.
going to say because I have ranged things that shoot really far
I do
in
have
case I
sneaky
need to
boots.
stop and. Oh, use your sneaky boots.
Oh yeah, use your sneaky boot. You and Raja can go in the front, and then Jubilee and I think Vantilord, you can carry the chest in the back.
Yep. I say I'm using all my little strength and my little leggies, so
All right. You guys make your way forward. And the other individuals follow as well.
still want to open up one of those coffins.
Don't do anything, Vantilord.
Vantala, go ahead. You roll percentile dice.
Stop suggesting things that Rory is gonna turn against you.
Rory and I have been talking quite a bit. 33. Okay.
Okay. Vandalord, as you and Raja are leading this group, to the right is that, what's up?
That wardrobe?
Not Bannerlord leading. It's me and
Yes, Rihu and Raja. Thank you. Leading, you see the cabinet where you found that dark dagger, where there was that spooky shadow that was there. Just had a bit of a remembrance of that as you passed by that. Everyone continues forward, and it's right after that where you are back on that ledge by those vines.
Okay.
that cabinet thing, right?
Yeah, the cabinet's back here in this room back here, and then the vines.
This
Oh.
is where we fought those elemental
Mhm.
soldiers.
Yes, this.
Things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just making sure we opened that.
All right. Well, I guess you described them already before, Rory, but can you?
You want to take
just-
a look at them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As she does that, I want to go take a closer examination at the cabinet, just in case these vines don't open something.
Okay. So you head back.
The
and
vision
you,
that I had last time.
you look at this cabinet back here. All the
Just 'cause of that
were-rats.
vision and everything that happened.
All the were-rats stand off to the side. Cricket. Go ahead and roll a nature check.
Nature. Surprisingly, not as good as you'd think it would be for me.
So a 15 instead of a 20?
No. I only got a 7.
7. Okay.
Oof.
A lot of this isn't too hard for you to discern. Some of it you're not quite sure about. However, you see a collection of massive thorny vines. And around these vines, there's this not thick, but this kind of floating cloud of spores. It looks like as these vines can put out kind of these semi-random bursts of fumes.
Are they similar to the ones that we saw in that room where Raja picked up?
Montgomery?
Yeah, Montgomery.
Pretty similar to what Montgomery was doing, how he would
Mm-hmm.
push out these toxic fumes. So you see these little and they're small. They're not big clouds, but there's just a lot of them. And then
gonna
there's this
grab Montgomery.
oily substance that is coating these vines. Really dense, oily substance. What's up, Roger?
Can I grab Montgomery?
Yeah.
And then bring him over kind of to the spores so I'm not in them and ask him if it's dangerous for people like us.
Well, most likely they would be, yes. Although
Fuck.
I tried to do this to you guys and didn't seem to work, so maybe not.
Okay, thank you. Well, now that you can talk, is there what can I do to make you more comfortable? Give me hand signals, so I just kind of...
Oh, yes. I don't know. That's a really deep question. You still get a very much of a vibe, like, even though he said some words, his critical thinking or his experience in life is very shallow. So even a simple question is like, oh man, that's mind-blowing. What do you mean comfortable?
I'll just put him back on my shoulder then.
I think you mentioned, Rory, that like when I was having that conversation with my parents, that I didn't like fully attune to the staff, but can I use the staff? I thought like my dad did something where he let me I don't know, somehow connect with it.
Yeah, so in essence, Rowan opened up your understanding of what the staff is, what it can do.
But I can't use it yet.
Well, I mean, you can use it as a staff. But yeah, its abilities itself, you need to take that hour to attune to it.
Okay.
Which you guys could do if you feel like you want to take
I
an
feel
hour
like
to
we
rest.
don't have time for that.
Go ahead, stepping back to Vantalord. You look in this cabinet, and it's just like you left it. right? The shelves are empty, dusty, and you're not seeing anything in it.
I know last time we started looking at, I started looking into it and started having visions like there was something more there. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to fulfill that urge or that lack of knowing.
Right.
So what I want to do, I want to open at least one side of the cabinet up, as I'm looking at it, the right hand side, so that way I don't block my view of everyone else. But that way they just don't see the door swing open and go, where the hell is Vantalord? Or where the heck, excuse me. I'm stepping into the cabinet.
I mean, you're small, so you decently fit. It's a foot and a half thick.
But so now I can actually touch the end of it, because before, like the way you described it, almost was like I couldn't.
Yeah, you can touch the back of it. Like it's a solid. You seem to have your full awareness, and you're touching and you're feeling and you're trying to, like you said, satiate this feeling like there's something here, and looks like it's a typical cabinet.
I'm gonna take the obsidian dagger out of my bag, and does it do any action now that it's back where I found it?
Mm-mm.
I put it down, and I'm just gonna keep that in mind, just because of the different interactions that I've had with it. I'm gonna head back to the group. I'm gonna try to do it where they don't realize I was gone.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check, and let's have fun with this. Everyone else, what is your passive perception?
17.
Okay.
I managed to roll a 12, so.
Let's watch me try to find my passive perception in the mobile version of D&D Beyond.
I think it's on like the main
Oh, it's
page.
actually right here.
Yeah,
my passive
yeah.
perception is a 17.
Ooh,
Yeah, both of us are 17. Hey, yo.
Rihu and
I didn't
Raja.
realize it was that high.
It's
What is-
16.
What is it, Rihu?
14.
Ooh, 17, 17, 16, and 14. And Vantalud, you rolled that with disadvantage?
Yep. The other roll is a 15.
All right. I mean, it wasn't that you weren't being blaring loud, but your armor is just, I mean, it's heavy, it's loud.
Yeah.
But you're not a disturbance to anyone as you enter back into the room. Cricket and Jubilee clearly see that you had left and came back. Or that, at least that you had come back.
Where'd you go?
Fulfilling some curiosity regarding that cabinet.
But what was in it?
Unlike last time where I had the weird visions that knocked me flat on my butt, nothing. I was just trying to fulfill some curiosity.
So you went into a cabinet.
What if,
Usually,
what if you had never come back out? We wouldn't even have known where you went.
Sorry.
you want to know how we did know where you were going? Because you think you were being sneaky, but you sounded like someone was crumpling up tinfoil and then stepping on it.
That's pretty accurate, actually.
Don't even know how to respond to that.
But also, I just
Vicious
want to
mockery,
remind you,
everyone.
Vantalord, just so you know, we're about to tie Rihu to me, and as I crawl into a chest, and you just climbed into what could have been a magical cabinet without telling anybody. And like freaking said, we could have turned around and we never would have seen you again, and you could have traveled to another dimension, and we never would have seen you again, and it would have been really quiet but really sad.
Done weirder.
I mean, that's fair. We all have, I think.
What's this noise, Rory? Are we hearing that in character?
Suddenly in the background, you hear this,
Oh no.
this in the distance, you hear this loud, just booming sound. Very familiar, but distant sounding, like walls collapsing or maybe something
Alright.
falling
All
and
right,
breaking.
no time for Um, shenanigans. Let's get this show on the road.
Shenanigans? No.
All right, Okay, well,
If I ever had a pet, I would name them Shenanigans.
great. Okay, remember that for future reference. Jubilee, do you still have the ability to like look for magical things? Can you tell if
believe
these
I can do
vines
it
are
at will.
magical?
Let's find out.
Oh, yes, I can cast detect magic at will, so I'm going to do that.
Just will.
You
My
cast,
best friend.
you cast, and you're studying you're watching. There is an immense glow of magical all around you, but not these
But
vines.
not the vines.
You see,
No,
you see
just
all the
gross.
weaponry and things that you normally would on the people you have. In addition, though, Jubilee, especially with your 17 passive, you notice that those the bag of stones are glowing, and that the chest is glowing.
Oh, so the chest is magical, just so we know. But also,
Well, I mean, it is
have
a portal. It's a giant hole. It's not a regular chest. So obviously, if nothing else, it's...
want to test out what's on them because I can cast. Does anyone have anything to put fire out?
like water.
But like, does anyone have the ability to just magically put fire out really fast, just splash a lot of water on it? Because I can cast fire bolt and like ignite them and hope that whatever the sticky stuff is comes off. But I also don't know. They might just burn all of them away completely.
I think
That's
I
all
already
right if
tried
they get
that.
burned away. I think.
Oh, because
Yeah,
if
I
I
do
burn
think-
them, then they'll just ignite. Just
I
as
do
long
think
as-
that Raja tried that though. I think he
Oh.
used his burning hands and it didn't do anything.
I think
was
they were
also
heat
going to say-
resistance and sticky and poisonous.
Oh, sticky. And okay, well,
Because the spores themselves were making
Okay,
that.
I'm gonna try something. I think we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna cast that same spell that I cast when we were in the room that I cast for the first time called Wither and Bloom. So that is basically a 10-foot radius. So I'm gonna get as close as I can to the vines so that it goes like 10 foot deep essentially into the vines. And then it's like a sphere. And anything that I choose, so obviously not my allies or the were-rats, will take 2d6 necrotic damage. And also
Okay.
non-magical vegetation in the area withers.
All right.
And then also as part of it, somebody gets to take some healing as well because I'm sort of channeling the necrotic life that I'm sucking out of the vegetation and putting it into somebody.
And what is what's the range on that again?
10-foot radius.
Okay.
Oh, the range though is.
Well, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Like
Oh,
the-
okay. Yeah. Technically, it's a 60 feet range, but I'm gonna do it for the vines.
All right. So you stand there, and it has both verbal and somatic, or what's the components to it? Is it verbal and somatic?
Yeah, and also I have to pull out a small little piece of like withered plant, and I twist it and use it. So it's actually verbal, somatic, and material.
There you go. So as you twist it, you send this essence of necrotic energy into these plants, weaving and pulling back the life, sucking it out of them. You see from the foliage in front of you, a couple things. As you get closer, you see, even before you cast, that they seem to not part, but there's a rigidness that's there, but as you get closer, that rigidness seems to soften in the vines. You cast the spell, and you see this withering of these vines, not only just withering, but also they fall, they break. They are dead. You see it just push back further and further and further. 10 feet deep. And everything just falls to crumbles to the ground. It looks like there's still a chunk of vines at the end.
Well, hey, that was successful.
So there is a Sally.
There is something through here, obviously.
It's a secret tunnel.
A secret tunnel. I'm going to also channel that health back into me.
Okay.
So I'm basically sucking the life force back into myself, and I'm taking a hit die of health. How do I find my hit die again? Oh, geez. Where is
It
it?
should be on your front page. It's what you would roll for your level up. Or short rest, same die.
Yes, thank you.
And that's what you regain for health?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. So yeah, it pushes 10 feet in. It is dark, but it does look like there's still some vines remaining. It's hard to tell from where you're at how thick those vines are. But 10 feet in is all dead, decayed vines.
I'm gonna walk into the tunnel of the dead vines,
Yep.
and as I get close to the ones that are still alive, you said that they like softened. I didn't try touching them before, so I'm kind of curious, since I noticed that change on the other ones, if I get close and I like try to reach my hand out, what happens? Anything?
Are you trying to reach through them or just...
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you reach your hand forward to push, like move them or push your hand through, you first feel that they seem to have softened. They're like a vine that you can move easily now. They're not as rigid as they were. However, I need you to make a couple rolls.
Oh no. They're still gonna hurt me.
As your hand pushes through,
Is bad.
as your hand
No,
pushes,
I just healed myself a little bit, thankfully.
as your hand pushes through, you're trying to be careful. Especially, I mean, you have an understanding of nature, but you don't realize that there's one of these plumes on the back of it, and your fingers push right into it as it sprays out. So I need you to roll a Constitution save.
Constitution, all right. I'm guessing a 6 is the fail. That dice we're not going to be using anymore. I've rolled a 3 and a 4 on it.
So you start to smell them, but you're able to react quick enough that, and it doesn't affect you.
Interesting.
I need you to also roll a wisdom save.
22.
Part of what ended up pushing your fingers into this spore was that you were very wisely maneuvering your fingers around the thorns. And in dodging all these thorns, you ended up hitting that spore. You passed. Last check is a wisdom save, a survival check.
Survival, okay. That's my best. Plus 10.
Okay. Oh,
Oh, I rolled a nat 20 too!
a nat 22.
plus 10. Yeah, I rolled a nat 20 also. And I have plus 10, so a 30.
A 30. With that, you see... Something sparks within you, and you have an understanding that this isn't meant to be this easy. And you're able to move it. And it is probably about a foot thick, but like a curtain, you're able to pull it to the side for a moment, and you can see that the hallway continues on without any more vines. You have no dark vision, do you?
No, no dark vision.
Okay. So in the immediate next few feet, you can see there's no vines. You're able to move it like a curtain, but you're pretty sure you can't hold it too long without potentially taking
I have it open.
risk.
Come now.
What was that?
I said I have it open. Come now.
I am going to
Cartwheel
rush in
my way
as quickly
through
as I can.
there.
Yeah, I'm booking it.
Okay. What about the rest
Am
of
I
you?
Justin? Oh, I grabbed that chest and I'm running.
Following through.
Okay. Vandalord, you're the furthest away. And
Yep.
then, Vandalord, being you're over there, are you waiting for the were-rats, or are you pushing your way in front of them?
It can change and get small and run in between everyone. I'm just going through.
Okay. Roll a D100. Percentile dice.
Uh-oh.
94.
94. Okay. Cricket, you're there holding this. Go ahead
Hey,
and...
thanks for the raid, other doc.
Thank you for the raid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll call it 8. Go ahead and roll a D8. Cricket.
Me?
Yep.
Okay. A 4.
4. Okay. You're holding the vines. Jubilee starts doing her cartwheels. Of all things, she starts to cartwheel through. Jubilee, go ahead and roll in acrobatics.
Okay.
Oh, let's see. I don't know if I'm good at that anymore as a warlock, honestly. Acrobatics. Uh-oh. A 13.
A 13. All right. You manage. You pull your feet in. It's more of a round house as you get through there. You pull your feet down in time, and you miss hitting those vines. Next one through, Rihu. You also run past. Go ahead and make a dex check just to make sure that you can fit through without hitting these vines. Unless you just don't care and you don't care if you hit them. That's an option too.
I mean, I rolled a 23, so
Okay.
I'm good to go.
You're good to go. So you make it through as well. Raja, same for you. Dex check as you're... Oh, 1, 2. Cricket. You can
Yeah?
feel these vines start to slightly slip a little bit. You're pretty sure that your finger is approaching a soft spot in the vine, perhaps another spore, and you can start to feel, even just looking at it, you can see some of these thorns coming down, or as the vines slip, they're getting closer to your arm. Raja, go ahead and roll a dex check. If you fail this, that's insane.
Don't jinx it.
12.
12. All right.
I only have +6 on Dex. Like a saving throw?
So you get through. You're a little bit tighter than Jubilee, but you do
That's
just
what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Is Dex save throw.
a dex check, acrobatics, a dex check. I should have said
Okay, there's a
acrobatics.
big difference.
Yeah, I should have said
Acrobatic.
acrobatics.
Then that'd be 16.
Perfect. So you make it through just fine. You're able to just get on through. You add a little bit of flair with that. Cricket, 1, 2, 3. Vandalord is on his way. Are you, from your perspective, are you watching the people go through?
Yeah.
Are you watching the
Yeah,
vines?
yeah.
Are you watching the
I
people
mean,
as they're
I'm-
coming?
Yeah, I'm not watching what happens on the other side. I'm making sure. I'm like, like somebody who's holding back something and it's like, go. Like, I don't know what the.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm watching the people coming in, trying to hold it so that they can make it through.
Perfect. You're holding the vines. You see Vandalord coming. You're waving him come. You can feel some thorns start to press into your skin. And you see a plume, a spore plume go off close to your elbow. As Vandalord rounds the corner past these were-rats. You see him downright hit one. Like, not punch, but as he's carrying this chest, right? And between his body weight and the weight of this chest, he clips him and keeps on going as this
Fine,
were-rat
check, so
falls to the ground, and he continues forward. Vantalord, go ahead and roll a acrobatics check.
Terrible. Can I do a reroll? Yeah.
You got a natural one.
Trips him.
Yep. And that dice goes to jail.
As you push your way through, and it's literally pushing your way through, you come rushing around. You hip check basically this were-rat, knocking him to the ground. You rush into this tunnel 10 feet in, and likewise, in similar fashion, between your hip and the chest, you just hit the whole chunk of these vines on your right. As you pass through, a large amount of spores plume out. You do have the armor on you, but you shove Cricket. Her arm just slams the rest of them against the wall as you get through to the other side. As a result, both of you will need to roll these rolls.
These are poison, right?
Hey, watch where you're going, Vantalord.
Cricket, roll a strength check to see if you can maintain hold on the staff.
The staff?
The staff, as he slams into you. You're holding the staff, you're holding it back with your other arm. See if you can maintain hold on that.
Strength 12.
You almost held on to it. DC was 13. You almost held on to it, but the sudden hit, and you weren't expecting this from Vantalord either, that slam into the wall, the staff falls right in front of you, or by your feet, but you're no longer holding it. Go ahead and roll first, both of you. Yes, this one, Vantalord, is a poisonous one. Roll a Constitution save.
Which is good because I have advantage against poison. I rolled a nat 20 on both my dice.
Uh, 12.
12. With being hit to the wall, Vantalord, poison is like Kool-Aid to you. Maybe not the most desirable thing, but whatever, right? And you move through. As far as those fumes go, you just...
Rory, tell us how you really feel about Kool-Aid.
Grape Kool-Aid's the worst. And so, between your beard, it catches all the fumes, and that's not an issue for you. Cricket, when you're slammed against the wall, the surprise took you off guard, and you just inhale. You take 7 points of poison damage, and you have the poison condition. Both of you also roll a wisdom save.
I got a nat 20 again.
22.
Plus 7.
Perfect. Yeah, your armor holds up for you, Vantalord, protecting you from...
Oh, that's good, because I saw that -3 on it.
From these thorns. And, just a flash of a thought, instant thought, you're able to shift your arm and not be able to get hit by all these thorns that are all over these vines. Now both of you make a wisdom save.
Another one?
Wait, no, you mean survival?
Survival.
That's what we did
A
last.
wisdom survival, yep.
18.
17.
Okay. Vanderlord, you get to the other
Dice.
side. Being slammed against the wall, you're able to maneuver away from these vines, Cricket. You see your staff. It's basically on both sides of this curtain of vines, right? It's a long staff. But you are on the side of the were-rats. And the vines have gone back into that curtain, and you see a rigidness that comes back to them.
If I pick up the staff, do I see them soften again?
So you reach down, pick it up, and after a moment, you see a softness comes back to them.
Well, I'm gonna look back at the were rats. How did they respond to Vantelord, like hip checking one of them?
Yeah, you look back, and for the rest of you, your vision or your ability to see through is very obscured. Essentially 3/4 cover, right? And you see little pieces of people, but it's like looking through shades or looking through blinds. It was the older individual, the one that was able to do the identify, and all three of them, the little boy and the other two, are actually helping him back up, and it looks like he has a massive. He's unable to put weight onto one side at all.
I'm gonna help him up as well. I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure what's going on with Vantelord.
And you just hear in his voice, he can't even talk very well.
He like knocked the wind out of
he's
him.
holding his hip, and within moments, just an extreme amount of tears comes to his eyes, and he goes to step on his left foot, and it instantly gives out, and you roll a perception check. I don't know if you have advantage on hearing.
Perception, 18.
You hear his hip bone just grind.
Is he's probably pretty frail and like light because he's old and like a human. Hey, we have another raid. Thanks for the raid.
Stronghold D&D.
I'm gonna walk over to him and just like continue to apologize and just say like, I'm not sure what came over Vantelord. Here, let me help you, and I'm gonna try and like help carry him.
I wish I knew that this was happening, but I'm already out the vines. I
And
feel so sad.
You
And
can
you guys
hear
can-
it,
yeah.
I feel like.
absolutely, you hear him screaming. His hip is broken. So you can hear, like, so you know what it'd be sounding like. You guys can hear this man screaming. Cricket, you have a pretty good idea that a bone somewhere is broken.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna try and kind of help him, and then I'm gonna do the same thing again. I know that I'm taking a risk, obviously, but I'm gonna try and push back the vines and hold them for the were-rats to get through too.
All right. So 3 checks again. Constitution
Okay.
saving throw. As you reach your arm in.
17.
17. You're more familiar, and you're able to feel as the vine's about to get soft, and then adjust your fingers. Go ahead and roll a
Wisdom.
wisdom. Yep.
15.
15. You're watching. You understand where these thorns are now as you shift and move.
And then
Last
survival.
one, survival.
17.
17. Easy enough. This has become second nature to you as you push these back. Now roll roll a d4. There's less people this time.
2.
2. All right. So you have it back. First 2 people go through. First one makes it through. Actually. Oh yeah, the first one, the one of the stronger men, actually the one that you guys had fought originally, with the child in the main entrance area. He is a bit more healthy and is able to carry this injured elderly man through the vines easy enough. The other two are beginning to get ready, and you feel the vines slipping. That thick oil is just a bugger to work with. You feel it start to slip, and you feel the thorns getting closer. The spores are, you see them now starting to build up as they continually do this puff. You see that building up, waiting to just explode. Second one gets through. No, third one, I mean. And the second one almost grazes the vines. Now all four are through. You can feel the thorns now pressing against your skin. How do you proceed? You're the last one to get through, and these thorns are pressing on you.
I mean, I'm gonna try and get through.
Okay.
Like, try and, like, hold it and walk through it. Yeah,
Okay.
walk
You're just gonna
past
do
it.
this like curtain brush.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll a.
With this, I'm gonna drop the chest because I'm guessing I can reach her from where I'm at. I'm gonna pull her through. Is she close enough for me to do so?
Yeah, she's right there on you're on the other side of the vines. Cricket, do you accept the pole?
Do you say anything, or are you just reaching out and grabbing me?
I'm saying I'm sorry for pushing you in. Let's get you to the rest of us.
Sure.
Trying to get us
Yeah,
to
I'll
safety just as much
accept.
as you
I'll
are.
accept his help, I guess.
Go ahead and roll a Constitution save at disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Oh,
For me.
geez.
Nope, for her. So
Yeah.
normally it would have been advantage for the help, but now you're swiping
One
these.
of them was a 20, Vandalord. Boo you.
You're swiping these vines, right? And so the motion of swiping is going to expose you to this, and now you're being pulled forward with a little bit more momentum. So you're in more proximity to these vines versus, let's say, for example, if you use your staff to hold them out of the way. So
Gotcha.
it's just the risk, the exposure on that arm. You are getting
Yeah.
through quicker than if you did it yourself. You do get through faster.
With disadvantage, I got a 15,
15.
but I had to throw away a nat 20.
So
Don't love.
So you get through, you do get through faster with Vantalor's help, and you do avoid actually touching any of those thorns or spores.
As I look at her, can I physically tell if she's been poisoned, hurt?
You would have known. What's your passive perception? Vantalord. 12. Yeah, I think it's reasonable to know that when you went through, you know that you also ended up clipping her, and common logic then with the spores, you would know that.
Okay.
And hearing her cough and on.
Yeah. I would say
So-
that Cricket is probably like coughing a lot and like seems to be like.
That's all I need to
wiping
know.
Stuff.
So as I'm still touching her, I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration,
Okay.
which will end blindness, deafness, paralyzed, or poison.
Okay.
And then I'm also gonna use the last of my healing and give her 10 points of healing.
Cricket, you see her just sort of like cough a little bit and then stop after you finish casting your spell. And
Sorry about that. I didn't know how long you could hold on.
well, I appreciate it, but I just wish you hadn't tried to bull your way through. Look at what happened to the old man. I don't remember what his name is. I think we knew his name at one point.
I'd have to double check. Probably in my notes somewhere.
Yeah.
You hear this continual screaming. He's trying to tame it as much as possible, but Cedric is just in severe pain as his hip is broken.
Can I go heal him?
You gonna go up to him and heal, or you gonna heal yourself, or what do you mean? Someone else?
I'll heal him, I suppose.
Okay. You see Raja walk over to him, place his hands on him. How much healing does he get?
D&D and Beyond. Like
What's that?
half screen. I'm gonna check real quick.
It's
If
3D.
D&D and Beyond is half screen, then I can't see my actions right now.
Are you
I don't
using
even
your
know if it's in
healing,
here.
your healing ability that you gained? Skylar? Are you using the healing ability you got?
Yes.
Then it's 3d8.
Five, 8, 12, 13.
13. You see Raja place his hands on this elderly man as wisps of flames start to project from his fingers and almost enveloping him in this soft glow of yellows and oranges and whites and blues, and there's a slight heat that radiates off. It suddenly it all sucks back into Raja's hands. He stands up with his hip fully healed.
That was
I'm gonna-
impressive.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to Raja and like place a hand on him and go, "Thanks for doing that. It was
Welcome.
painful to watch."
It was painful to feel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure.
I
Is
walk
someone
away
possibly-
sheepishly.
able to heal me at all?
I can a little bit. Let me see here.
Like at the point I am, really any amount would help.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, I'm able. Sure, I can return the favor, and I'll cast Cure Wounds on you. And you get 6 points of healing. Sorry, it's
Very
not a ton,
much.
but
It's almost double what I have right now. So
you have 3 hit points?
no, I had 10. Like it almost doubled what I have.
You only had 10? Oh my gosh, I did not realize Raja was looking so bad. Jeez.
Raja's kind of all the time, his glamour and his flair just covers up all of his bumps and bruises. As you
That's pretty low.
As you all compose yourself on the other side of these vines, now with a 1 foot wall of vines behind you, once you move forward just a small distance, it's not very far, you see again this mural of this half circle of people around this mammoth figure in front of it. Kind of this
Wait,
stone.
it looks like the one that we originally saw. Guys, I think
Like
this is
outside?
the exit.
Wait, really? I'm about to kiss the ground.
No, really, I'm pretty sure this looks exactly the same as the mural that we saw on the way in. When we got sucked in.
The one that reached out and grabbed us.
Yeah, I think
grabbed you
I think
guys
all we
and me.
did. Yeah, I think all we did. Didn't we hold hands?
Yes. I think we sang a song too.
No, we did not sing a song, Mentor, but we did hold hands, and then I think I just reached out and touched the person, and they turned around and like the painting. I'm gonna try and recreate the same thing we did before.
Okay.
Like the best
I'll be the
one, right?
last in the line, so I have one hand on the chest and one.
All right. So you all link hands, and Cricket, you're in the front of it.
Yeah.
I am
Don't forget
going
to sing.
to. I want to stand next to Bear and put my hand on Bear's tail and make sure that he gets out too.
Cricket, as you approach this stone etching in the wall, you see the center, or the person, right, shift and turn as the stone melds and shapes almost in this fluid motion as it turns and the hood reached up and is pulled off. As you see this clearly person, but still very generic looking person. As then the whole assembly of people turn and the hoods come off. Arms from all of them beginning to reach out. And as they do, the initial, the one in the center, reaches out and grabs. Do you let it grab you?
Yeah, my hand.
Reaches out and grabs your hand. Suddenly, from the back to the front, people in the back are noticing this more, as suddenly a wrapping of a leaf takes Cricket. And then one by one, from the front to the back, up, Bear, Jubilee, and each time you see it approaching another one of you. You can see anyone in the back can see that stone etching. Each time a person is taken, one of those figures turns back, hood facing you. Leaves coming up, stone people turning. A moment passes by in utter darkness, where it's like your eyes are closed and you're just nowhere. And then you appear back in that room that you originally were taken from.
The same. It looks the same. Like it's the actual same room.
Door is
Or a
shut,
lock.
and Cricket, you see this first as Daniel is in the room, and
I forgot about him.
he has
It's only
taken
been like 3 days.
he has
It's
taken
been, like-
any
Yeah, it's been more than that, I think. Yeah.
he has taken anything he could find, which isn't much at all, and just shoved it against the door, and he is just sitting in the corner like. And then when you pop up, the fear intensifies for a good few seconds until he recognizes who it is. And he says, "It's out there. It's gotta be quiet. Gotta be quiet."
You're saying that elemental creature is still out?
Yes, I was out there. I was learning so much, and then it started to try to attack me.
Oh, jeez. Well, we were trapped inside this like druid cave dungeon system for the last I don't know how many days.
I just. It's been a while. I'm glad you're back.
We brought some friends too.
And in that time, it just doesn't seem to end as they each start popping up, in which all 10 of you are now in this room.
Like a circus carriage.
Did you say you learned some new things about this elemental creature?
Oh, I mean, I don't know so much about them. A little bit. They're guardians of this area. It seems like whatever was going on here, it was it was rather interesting. It seemed like perhaps this clan of druids or something, some kind of maybe elemental force. It was really kind of hard to make out some of it, but they seem to take things of nature and then make it basically their puppets. There was some alluring to domination and destruction, and basically using the earth to purify itself, using the ground and all of that to just purify everything on the surface. So those were our guardians. There's still one out there.
Did you see the symbols on its chest?
I saw it trying to attack me, and I ran away. I have nothing. I mean, I have nothing on me to protect me. I didn't look. I did see a lot of other symbols that alluded to a lot of this other stuff, though.
Okay. Can I go look for that golem?
Are you opening the door?
Yes, the
Yeah,
door
I feel
is
like
shut.
maybe
Oh, I forgot.
I feel like maybe we might want to like take a breather. Everybody's very injured.
Oh, I was just gonna clear it out because I have all the arrows of the.
Oh, that's true. All right. Well, if you want to take it on, it seems like you're pretty bruised
Or did that
over
not work
there.
for the last one? I don't remember. How did we take care of the last one?
We had to. We waited
took
until
care
the
of it
symbols
somehow.
changed.
I feel like you took care of it. I don't remember because I was in here messing with this mural.
And
Okay.
the symbols changed elements. We found
Yeah.
water,
So
fire.
I'll go look at it anyway,
All right.
quick. And I'll be.
I'm gonna go with him.
sneaky.
Yeah, I'll go as well.
Willful
We stand here to watch the
PPK.
chest.
Sounds good.
Great. Can't wait.
So the three of you approach the door and open it, and when you do, at first there is just darkness and just the sounds of the swamp. But then a foot out, as you take a step out, then you see the emblem light up on the chest. As then the eyes of the golem light up, its head lifts, and then it starts its forward motion as
What
it
color
has
is the
now
emblem?
seen a enemy.
Oh no.
So.
Oh,
What
no.
color? What color? What color? We're gonna close
Yeah,
the door
this-
after this.
Describe the emblem.
You see the emblem. Yeah, you're all purposely looking for it. You know where to look. You see it. It is blue. Blue with sideways waves.
Like
So can I shoot the water
It's water.
arrow at it?
You can roll for initiative.
Okay. Are we doing that individual one
Yep.
again? Okay.
Oh, we are back.
You got it, Rory. You need me to.
Oh yeah, we switched to individual last week, Ryder.
Rory,
Yes.
Oh
you writing it
boy.
down, or do you want me to?
If you could, please.
No, let me grab pen and paper.
Yeah, I'm kind of wishing I would have gone back and changed that feat because once I found out we did group initiative, I took away my alert feat and just switched it out with another one because it was pointless for me. Because then I had a +8 to initiative.
Well, I'll tell you what. Jubilee's last.
Tell you what, I really
So-
like my new dice.
Oh jeez.
Oh, Jubilee, what did you roll?
A 1.
Cricket?
18.
Raja?
19.
19. Rihu?
16.
16, you said? Okay. Four.
20.
So Rory goes first, and then it'll be up on deck as Raja, then Cricket.
With all of its intelligence, not really. 10, 15.
Any more
20.
sarcastically?
It moves in just to the closest target. Approaching Raja. It will... take its first attack.
And I can call the shield after I hear the hit, or do I need to call it before?
It's a reaction. You can call it after. Sorry, my notes seem a bit off. Here we go. So it moves in, moves closer and closer. As it comes to Raja, it will make a, there it is, a slam attack. Does 15 hit?
No.
Okay, so it goes to slam you to the ground, and you are able to get out of its way. And then it will reach back around to make another slam attack. 15 again. And it is just unable to grab you to be able to slam you to the ground. That is the golem's turn.
Raja, and then Rihu's on deck. Or Cricket's on deck after Raja.
Well, then I use my bonus action and disengage so I can get a little ways away from it.
Okay. How far away would you like to get? You can get 25 feet away if you go straight back, otherwise you can move. Or are you wanting to go onto the other side of it?
I'll just do that, 25 feet away. No, because I'm going to shoot it with the bow.
Are you wanting to stay on this side or go to the other side?
Stay on whatever side is facing the chest of it, where I normally shoot it.
Okay, perfect.
The symbol.
Yep.
Then I'll shoot it with the water arrow.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit. What is it?
17.
17 hits.
And then did we ever roll damage for these, or just kind of cycle
Yes,
through all the
roll
elements?
damage also.
Seven.
7. All right. So the arrow hits. You see this arrow as it leaves the bow. It takes on this trailing liquid look. As it strikes the symbol on the chest, you see that it takes a step back, and then the symbol begins to flash. As it begins to glow this immense red with these lines that wave upwards. Fire.
I think that's all I can do for that, because I did my bonus action to disengage. And then I backed up and attacked.
Yep. Who is up and who's on deck?
It'll be
I think
Cricket,
it's me.
and then Rihu.
Oh boy, I got a whole lot of nothing. I'll go ahead and cast Shillelagh on my new staff. I don't know if I can do that, but I think it just makes my already magical staff also magical.
Correct.
But also has like some extra thorns so that it hits a little bit harder as well. And then I'll go ahead and try and take. I think I'm within melee range, right?
If you move another 5 feet closer, you're
Okay,
about 10
yeah.
feet away from it.
Yeah, I'll move, and I don't want to block Raja's line of sight.
Okay.
So if I can move and keep it so that he can still shoot it,
For sure.
and then I'll try and whack it
Okay.
with the staff.
Roll to hit.
A nat 20.
There you go. You hit. Roll your
This
damage.
dice is so much better than the other one, clearly. Do I need to confirm?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if it even matters because it's not an elemental thing. It's just a magical stuff. My other one was 20. Dirty 20.
Okay, yeah, you hit critical. Roll a nat 3.
A nat 3?
Roll a d4.
I mean, I would. That would be. That'd be like an interesting called shot to have to roll and exactly roll a 3 on the d20. Ooh, I got 4.
4. Okay. So maximum damage. And roll the damage dice again.
Okay.
So whatever your max damage would be, and then roll
Yeah.
your dice and add that damage.
Oh, and I rolled a 7 out of 8. Okay, so my damage is 8, and then max damage is 9.
Okay, so,
So
total of
17.
17. Awesome. It's a solid strike. This staff fits in your hands like it was always meant to be there.
Cricket is over it. She wants to sleep. I have no more spells left. I'm just like, get away from us. I need to go to bed.
And does Bear go or no?
No, he's pretty injured, so he's staying back.
Okay. Who's up? Who's on deck?
Rihu's up, and then myself, and then Julie's lead is gonna be after me. So Rihu.
So I will move in
Okay.
towards the golem. Again, trying to leave a gap there for line of sight still, but so I'll take the opposite side of where Cricket was.
So for you to do that,
Or how wide is that?
it's tight. So Cricket is more or less blocking the distance, but I think that was only 10-15 feet for you to get there. So you can use up all of your movement
To get behind?
to get just to the side here. So you're still not
Okay.
behind, but you are off to the side now.
I will do that.
Okay.
Alright. And then with that, we are going to take an attack at it with an unarmed strike.
All right, roll to hit.
Oh. Roll a 19 plus 6, it's 25.
That definitely hits.
Alright. I did 6 points of damage.
Okay.
And then I'm also going to use one of my key
Okay.
to do a flurry of blows, which allows me to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
All right.
Do I need to roll for hit on each of those, I'm assuming?
Soft glow begins to emanate in your fists.
I rolled a 21 for the next one to hit.
That hits.
Yep. Alright, did 5 more points of damage.
Okay.
And then the next roll was a 9 to hit.
9 does not hit.
Okay.
You get a couple solid hits in, but your last one just misses.
Alright. That is all I can do. That was my bonus action and bonus action.
Out of curiosity, can I do my action before my primary action?
You said your bonus
Okay.
action before your action?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
Alright, I'm gonna cast Searing Smite, which is a fire-based attack on the golem,
Okay.
and pretty much on my first melee attack that hits, my weapon becomes inflamed with fire.
Okay.
So,
So you're stepping right in front of it?
yep, I'm gonna
Okay.
step right in front of it. I cast Searing Smite on it, and then I'm gonna take my longsword out to hit it.
Okay.
Is 23.
23 hits.
Okay, so that's it. 12 points of damage.
Okay.
So that means and with the Searing Smite, it takes another d6 of fire damage for 4. And for my second attack on, because I get the 2, I hit again with the 22.
22. That's how much damage? 22 to hit.
No, 22 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
Damage. Yep, damage is 9 for regular and 5 points of fire.
Okay. You see chunks as you take these couple of solid swings in on it. You see chunks of stone falling off, a chunk from the waist and a chunk from the shoulder, but the stone golem itself is still largely still intact. With the striking of the flame, you see the emblem again shifting. Where'd it go? As it lands on, it locks in, and these again vibrant red lines are glowing in an upward fashion as it lands on fire again.
And that's gonna be Jubilee, and then to Rory.
All right. Does it look hurt still after it's been taking damage from people when it changes?
I mean, it doesn't look hurt because it's a stone, but there are chunks of stone missing.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Then I'm going to take my 2 Eldritch Blasts at it.
And just for awareness, you do have 3 companions directly around, and you'd be shooting over the top of one of them.
Oh, and just for awareness, one of my racial traits, anyone within 10 feet of me gets a +1 to any save.
That's good for them to know.
Okay, that first Eldritch Blast is an 18,
That hits.
and the next one is a 25.
That hits.
Thank God. When she says, "Oh," I'm like,
That's gonna be 10 points of force damage.
Perfect.
"I didn't know you were a Jedi."
Use the force, Jubilee.
Sorry, that's my anachronism for the day. I apologize.
Saying the entire time.
And is that your turn? You move or anything?
To hang out here because it's been okay for me so far.
All right. All the were-rats are off into the far corner. In fact, without any weapons or any way of protecting himself, Daniel also moves back into the corner with them. The golem.
At the start of the golem's turn, make a D6 save, please.
D6 save?
Constitution. Yep.
D20.
Nope. D20. Excuse me.
It's a 19 on the die plus 4, so 23.
Yeah, you pass. All right. It's because of that Searing Smite.
Yeah. He will. Let's see. You're directly in front of him. There's no need for him to move elsewhere, so he will make his first slam attack on Vanterlord for a 27 to hit.
Is it at disadvantage, meaning that he has 3 of us around him?
He doesn't have disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
27, that hits.
You guys would have an advantage. So yeah, 27 to hit. So he will do 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
He picks you up. He grabs you just by the shoulders. Just picks you up and just slams you back down on your feet. All the force of your weight slamming into your ankles and your knees. Then he tries again for a 16 to hit.
That's my AC, so meat is beat.
So he'll pick you up again and grab you by the shoulders. For 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Now I'm beginning to look a little beat up.
Yeah, glad that wasn't me. I'd be fucking. I'd be on the floor.
I'm still standing though.
And that is his turn. He's not going to move.
I'm still standing.
Hey, so that is Raja and then Cricket. And Raja's muted. Your turn.
Raja, Skylar.
There we go. I'm gonna shoot it with the fire arrow.
Okay. Just a awareness, a reminder. You do have Phantalord in front of you. You can barely see the emblem being on the chest, and Phantalord's head being just below, like belly level. And
What
then you have
would-
the other two here.
That column's 10 feet
the-
tall.
Minus B if I jumped. Because I also can just jump higher than people.
You can see the emblem. You just don't want to miss.
Yeah, that's why I asked. What would the if I jump? Because then that'd open it up more.
I mean, not a lot. Like, you can fully see it. It's just Phantalord's
Exactly.
head is below it. It's like shooting the apple off his head. So if you jump, it's actually just going to
Just
make
don't
your...
miss.
Yeah. If you jump, it's just going to make your shot harder.
Until Valor dies, just to.
I wasn't sure because I can
the
jump.
back of the dome.
I think it was three more feet up.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see it. Just don't miss.
Oh, that's a running long jump. Okay.
Oh, and Raj, are you thinking that you're gonna jump up in the air and shoot your bow while you're in midair?
That feels
Yeah.
riskier.
Because I have
That
a
would make
feat
your-
that increases my jump.
But
Yeah,
that
but
would
you
make your
can see
shot
it. You
harder
don't need
pull
to
off.
jump. Yeah. Just focus. Steady yourself. That's the opposite of what you wanted.
I got. What is my? Okay, now I have to go back to the bow. Oh my goodness. I was thinking about the 3 feet, and I was about to say I got a 13. I got 16.
That
Over
hits.
10.
16 hits as you let loose another fire arrow. Make sure you're ticking these arrows away. You let loose at your second fire arrow as it slams into the chest of Phantalord. You feel this warmth and this glowing flame as it slams in right in front of you, filling again that plate. As how much damage does it do?
It did 5.
5.
Because there was 4 arrows at each kind, right? Or did I start tracking? Okay.
4 of each.
I have one more.
The chest in front of you, Phantalord, you see it as the emblem starts to change. Even in the midst of the emblem changing, the element changing, parts of its bicep, parts of its back area, like its kidney area, a chunk of the leg, it seems like it's starting to fall apart faster and faster. And it becomes blue waves again.
I yelled that out to the group just in case they didn't see.
Alright. Phantalord yells out that it's water.
Gonna be all washed up soon.
Actually, that's what he yells
Alright.
out.
Yeah.
Yes. Cricket's up and then Rihu.
I'm gonna try and take a swing with my shillelagh staff again.
Alright.
Not as good as it was last time. That's only a 9.
Now you're finding that it's very tight quarters in here with everyone in here with you. So it is actually rather difficult, especially because this staff is longer than your typical one. And you're not able to get a good swing on it and you miss.
That's it.
Alright.
Alright, so we're gonna repeat of what we just did last time.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going right back in with an unarmed strike, which I rolled an 18. Does 18 hit?
18 hits.
All right. It is another 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And because I am just ready to be done with this, and I am going for another flurry of blows using another key point.
Okay.
That's 2 unarmed strikes. So next roll was a 12 to hit.
12. That next punch, you come up short.
This is alright. We got one more.
You're just getting tired. Just tired.
14.
14. The exhaustion that's starting to head in, you're just wanting to just take a break. You missed that second one. Even that forward momentum, though, of just wanting to fall asleep, lets you land that third hit just barely. AC of 14.
It does. Okay. Thank goodness. All right. And that is. Hit the wrong button there. 6 for damage. There's 6 points
for
damage.
Another big chunk. Like, imagine, that image of someone punching a rock and it just explodes through, right? Your hand lands on it. And not even the rock in front of your hand, but on the other side of him just shatters out the other side.
Okay. Is he still standing, I'm assuming?
He is still standing.
Okay. I'm using. So with that, I have a special technique that is called Drunken Technique, which is whenever I use Flurry of Blows, I gain the benefit of the disengage action. And
Okay.
my walking speed is increased by 10 feet. So I am going to, after seeing the staff miss and that arrow being shot, I kind of see what's happening here. So I'm going to disengage 10 feet back into that larger room
Yep.
from kind of where his back is.
Perfect. That's awesome.
I am. So it's myself and then Jubilee. I'm gonna grab my potion of healing and I'm gonna go down the hatch and I'm gonna drink some of it.
Okay.
Or I'm gonna drink it. Give me some healing back.
Take that for your action.
Yep, I'm taking that for my first action. Then I can do my attack. Then I can do my second action, which is the attack. I can do.
If you have 2 attacks, that's still 1 action.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I'm brain dead. I rolled max. I get 10 points of healing back. Yay.
It's probably a good thing.
Probably. And I'm just gonna stay right here.
All right.
And
Vandalore
to
downs a
Julie,
potion.
then Rory.
Jubilee.
All right.
The fate of your team is in your hands.
Oh. Well, then I am going to cast Toll the Dead
Okay.
on him. He has to make a wisdom save. Which I really hope he fails, because this can potentially do a lot of damage.
Emotional?
Emotional damage.
And is there a limit of what that can work on? My question is, can it work on constructs?
Oh, that is a great question.
So you can point it at one creature you can see within range.
I mean,
And a
I would have.
golem is a large construct, not a creature.
I don't.
Let me look at a different creature real quick.
Let's say.
So if I look at this, creature type is a humanoid.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think normally constructs are not creatures, because creatures have to be living things and constructs are like created objects.
Well, shoot.
Bang.
Would you know that ahead of time though, Jubilee? Like, I feel like you would know that
I
your
think so,
spell
too.
doesn't work on a
Yes.
constructed thing.
Well, that
Yes.
works
you
for me.
tailored it.
Yes,
no.
it's not like, yeah, right. I'm not going to make you
Okay,
waste your,
okay.
yeah, for sure.
And it's fire right now, right?
Water.
Still?
No, it's water.
Water.
Oh, it is.
All washed up.
Eldritch Blast anyway.
All right. Roll to hit.
That's a 21 for the first one,
That hits Vantalord.
and a, and a 23 for the second one.
They both hit.
That's gonna be 9 for the first one. 14 total points of force damage.
Both of them rapid fire lands solid into that elemental emblem. Jubilee, what does it look like?
It's these 2 different streams, but because she's feeling a little extra today, she's gonna make one black one, one purple one to kind of match her whole getup. So one comes out as like a black, tenderly smoky energy, and the other one comes out as like a purple, glittering, just straight shot kind of spear of force.
They land solid and they blow through that elemental emblem. And Rihu, in front of you, bits of stone land at your feet. You don't get hit, but you just see it blow through as the energy itself stays within the golem, slowly, and the whole golem falls to the ground.
Way back in the back, you just hear Ryu go, "Woo!"
Cricket just takes her staff and like rests on her staff, like, oh my gosh, I'm so over this. I need a rest.
Bear, can you lay down? Can I just?
Everybody just collapses with him.
And with that, we will take our break. As everyone has now again faced another construct, wearing down not only your health, but just your constitution, just your drive to move forward back
My
in
mental
the swamp.
energy is completely shot. I just need
And,
an hour.
and emotional energy.
I also have no spell slots left.
You literally
so that
know. I
is
know.
bad. I have like 12 HP and no spells.
Jimmy
Yep.
shot out, like, I had a last hope right there. I mean, that was it.
Actually, I have 4 spell slots left. I just haven't used my action to get them.
All right, so we will take a 5-minute break as we get up a stretch, get something to drink, and come on back. Thank you everyone for joining us. Stick around. We will be back in 5 minutes. Mics are hot. I am stoked about these dice I bought.
Yeah, like because they roll really well or because
Yeah.
they're pretty?
Well, they're pretty too, but they roll really well.
Have I ever showed you my Jubilee dice?
So you
I
do
don't
know,
think so.
Edgelord's
I have
level
my-
7 now.
They're custom. They're
Oh,
black
nice.
and,
Yep.
and purple with the little gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got like green stuff in it, so it's all shiny and pretty on the inside.
Nice. You said Vantalord's level 7?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Fixed.
Y'all,
Pretty
which
sure-
one do I want to drink? Do I want another sparkling water or do I want the Dr. Pepper
Dr.
coconut?
Pepper, forget that sparkling
Dr.
water.
Dr. Pepper, zero sugar all day. All day.
Okay, okay.
There's
So I
only
did-
one
I
or
did
two
Walmart-
sparkling waters that are any good. The rest are trash.
So I
They
did a
get
Walmart
flat
pickup
so
today.
fast.
Did Walmart pickup today. Got all the groceries, and somehow in the groceries was a coconut pineapple water, which I did not order.
That
And
sounds
4
delicious
back-
though.
And 4 boxes of markers. Again, did not order. Just Crayola, a 10-pack of markers. And I'm sitting here going, I wonder who got the wrong, who's missing part of their order, because they're probably not going to be very happy. And of course, I didn't know this until I got home and
Curbside,
45
right?
minutes away.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? Walmart makes enough money, you're fine.
Exactly.
But it's not about him. It's about the person who's going to drive
Oh.
45 minutes home
That's-
without the item.
Yeah,
That's the thing for me is like when Instacart says that they bought all of my stuff, everything is going to be in the order, and then the order comes, and I'm like, hey.
It could be worse. Maybe I just save it. It's not like I'm not gonna need it or anything, right?
Oh, I cricket. Dang it. Of
What's
course
up?
you had to get one of those freezies, because now that makes me want to
I
freeze.
think I have those too, actually.
I have no AC in my house, and so
Oh.
it's
no.
7, and my computer's running like pretty hard right now just because I've got like all these things open, and so I'm just sitting next to a heater, and it's like 79 in here, so I decided I wanted something cold.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's crazy. Like, obviously, Northern State. Rory, myself, and Ryder, and it hit like 90 degrees today, and yesterday was in the upper 80s, and I'm just like dying.
Well, I got
Yeah,
the-
it has
the AC
been-
rolling. Yeah, I ain't dealing with that.
It's been a solid 95 plus here in Virginia for like the last 3 weeks, and I'm like really done with it. And it's not 95 plus of like Nevada dry heat where it's tolerable. It's 95 of like hair, like I feel my hair expanding when I step out of the house, humid, just like
Yeah, the worst
Yup,
part about not having
that's a-
air conditioning in your house is actually the humidity inside. Like everything is just sticky. Like
Yeah, you, like, can't
the
escape the
floor
fact that
is
you just feel
sticky.
wet.
Yeah, yep.
Yup.
all your paper starts curling.
Yeah, I was doing laundry earlier, and I ended up hanging the things that needed to hang dry. I hung them outside just because it was like I don't want any more moisture happening in this.
Yeah.
house.
Oof. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we were down in Santa
it's
Fe.
rough.
It's like 95, and you're walking around. You're like, it's hot, but it's not bad. You get up here, and it's 88 and humans. Ugh.
Right. It's just it takes so much out of you. You feel like you're walking through sludge, like you can't breathe.
one. Our area, Taylor's lakes everywhere. So when it starts getting hot and really humid, like I have a river in my backyard, the mosquitoes.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I paper spray. So I have my yard sprayed. Last year I had it sprayed 4 times, and the mosquitoes were bad about 2.5 weeks in. So this year I paid for an additional one to make it closer together, and it lasted like 2 weeks because we've had like 4 days of rain solid and just knocked off all the, whatever they spray on there. So now I have to wait another week and a half before the next mosquito spray, and it's humid in the river, and the mosquitoes are almost thick enough to pick my fat self up.
Pape.
Okay.
Similar to the humidity of Minnesota, more similar to the humidity of North Carolina. Everyone finds themselves back in this room. Golem shattered in the door, and these were rats,
I have an idea.
Daniel, and everyone else here in this moment, where there's a decent amount of quietness, but that wetness, that dampness, especially inside of here, where there's no windows, you can just feel and smell the mugginess of this room.
Guys, I have an idea. We have a dead golem in rubble. I go over to the chest, I open it up, and I throw a piece of the golem into the chest.
Goes in there.
Do I hear it land?
Nope.
I start putting the rest of the golem in the chest.
Don't do that. What? We don't know what happens. Maybe it'll like reassemble itself inside there.
Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'll use it for things later on. Maybe trade it to a blacksmith. Maybe it's worth something. I don't know.
I'm gonna go back outside. I need to see the sky.
You make
I
your
need
way
to
out.
breathe fresh air.
You get out with the instinct of breathing that fresh air, and you do get outside easy enough, and you just, to whatever it is for Cricket, it is a swamp. So if fresh air is farmland or the
Yeah.
forest, it is swamp air.
Yeah, Cricket is not a swampy druid. This is not. No. This is too. This is too wet. Give me some like pastures.
Katie doesn't like swampy, and neither does
No.
Cricket.
No. This is too much humidity. These mosquitoes are killing me.
Take 1
But
point of
it's-
damage? No.
I know. At least it's fresh air though.
Yes.
I mean, relatively.
You're not underground. It's not stagnant. It's, yeah.
I don't feel trapped.
Trapped like rats, and I look over to the were-rats. How does it feel to be free?
Free? What do I mean free? Where there's walls. We went somewhere, but clearly we're not out. We're still underground. We must be. Look, there's
We're
walls.
not. We're
of this-
not. Come here. Come follow me. I'm gonna go back to where they are and like show them the exit.
Daniel takes suit with them too, as he's kind of taking the lead with them. He'll show them the way to get out as he brings them out to you. Some gasps happen from a couple of them. Not so much the boy. It's kind of all he ever knew. But the elders, especially Cedric, whose hip was broken, a bit of a gasp from him. Like he remembers walking into this place. The environment around, clearly he's a little confused and shocked by the environment. But he does recognize the outside of this building, this courtyard area.
Cedric, didn't you mention at some point? My brain is a little fuzzy right now. It's had a lot of information to process in the last 24 hours, but I seem to recall you said something about having an estate near here, somewhere in the swamp. Is that right?
No, if I did, I apologize. It's a couple, I believe it's a couple days away, in the Northern
but, I
Lights
mean, that's-
area.
Yeah, but that's still not that far. I mean, I'm not saying we go there right now, but that's good that you have some place near here. That
I mean,
we
it
could
was
potentially-
also at least 10 years ago.
Well, I guess who knows what state it's in right now.
Yeah, my estate is in an unknown state, so. But it might
Well-
still be there. I would hope it's still there.
Well, should we call it an evening and take a rest here and
All I'm
Dig-
going to say is if we do anything else and run into any potential enemies that I have to fight, I cannot promise that I will be useful in any capacity unless I take a very long nap.
I feel ya. I'm the same right now, Jubilee.
And you said it's nighttime here right now, right?
It's kind of a perpetual nightish time, but yes, you can tell the sun has definitely gone down or is about to go below the horizon. It is much darker here.
Yeah, I think we should use this little indoor temple we have and some protection to camp while we can.
I agree. So I guess we'll sort of set up camp here, and
I'll take the first watch.
there were no more of these golems around, right? Like unactivated. It was just those two. Or one.
That you're aware of.
Right,
Oh,
that we
we-
see though. Right, we don't see any others, so.
Oh, we did beat a couple of them before going in. So that room that we're in right now, there was 3. We took out 2 and 1 was unactivated, and we just took out the 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
So in theory,
In theory.
In theory. So where do you guys stay? You have multiple different rooms that you could choose from.
I think just in the main lobby is probably like the safest area because we could get out. I don't want to hole ourselves in one of these rooms and then get trapped.
That's a good idea. And all of us can keep watch on like the main entrance in case something comes in. We won't miss it.
Right.
so how about this?
we can close those
That
doors,
side
right?
room. Yeah, let's close the doors and see if we can find like any weapons that have been rusted to put through the handles. Just barricade them a little bit.
Yeah, you're able to find various, whether it's debris of some sort, or swords or javelins. None of the equipment is of any quality, but it's definitely good enough to help barricade the doors.
Alright, I use that to lock all the doors.
Okay.
Barricade them, make sure that they can't be easily up.
Then there's 2 sets of doors they'll have to go through to even get to where we are. If someone tries to come in from the outside.
Are you? Yes. Oh, you're shutting these ones up here too.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it's a door, it's being shut and locked.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually would do the same to all the interior doors too that are to these rooms.
Trust nothing.
There you go. All doors have been shut.
Oh, so we can keep out the devil.
And so you guys are taking a long rest?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So you're able to bunker down and get some sleep. What's the order of the watch? Only need 4 people. Can be more, but at least 4.
I'll go
Unless
watch
someone's
second.
wanting to take more than a 2-hour watch.
I'll go second.
Rihu second.
I'll go whenever somebody needs me.
Me too.
When?
I'll go after Rihu.
Okay. So Jubilee third,
I'll take the
Rihu
morning.
second, Cricket fourth. Who's first?
Me.
Vance Lord.
All right. Vantalord, you go through your night. You secured all these doors the best you could, and even the noises of outside are fairly tame. These are heavy doors.
As my watch goes, just so I don't fall asleep, because obviously it's been. I'll be walking the outside of this room, kind of just trying to have a closer look at all the like night details, see if any shimmery, stands out that the others may not notice.
Absolutely. Your watch through and through goes pretty tame. Not a lot takes place during your watch. Again, even if you were to get close to the door, the sounds of the creatures outside is pretty quiet.
Did I see anything on the walls that were shiny?
Excuse me. Nothing that you guys haven't already discovered or Daniel hasn't told you about. The sayings of doom and destruction, and then the imbuement of nature is the repeated kind of motifs that you see. Vandalord goes to sleep. Who is second watch? Rihu.
Sir.
Rihu's third? Second.
Second. I'm second.
Okay.
Sorry. Thank you.
Oh, good. So same thing. Is there anything particular on your watch that you're wanting to do?
No, I'm more beat up, so I'm just gonna kind of try and like take it as a rest watch. Like I'm watching, but like I'm just staying stationary and trying to be as relaxed as possible.
Yeah. I mean, you find a corner, you're able to keep yourself awake, tapping into the discipline of the monk, and it stays quiet. Near Jubilee, you're next, correct?
Yep.
Near the end of your watch, Rihu, you do see some rustling around, some moving while she's sleeping as Jubilee is sleeping. Jubilee, you on the other hand,
Uh-oh.
as you're sleeping,
Oh no. Oh no. Wait, what's happening?
there is a darkness that sets into your dream. There was a moment of something in the distance, something familiar that you couldn't make out. And it came closer and closer, but still invisible.
And this is
Alright.
in my dream still.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You were still unable to recognize it. And then, darkness. Darkness sets in. And from the darkness, not in a like a jump scare, but from the darkness manifests this elegant, yet very pale, elven woman. Upon her shoulder, a midnight black, inky-like raven. Her hair flowing down. You just see her nod. Hello?
I feel a little starstruck, to be honest, because if you're who I think you are, the fact that you're visiting me in a dream right now, I don't really know what I did. I didn't do something wrong, did I? Did I do something bad?
You see her take a deep breath. You are now the keeper.
The keeper?
I have chosen you. You are now the keeper. The transition. The one that takes from place to place to deliver to me to bring them to their final destination.
To bring
You
who?
are the keeper of my souls.
That sounds like a lot of responsibility. So are we gonna talk about like a logistics plan here? Because like, how do you carry one of those? Do I have a special bag? Do I really don't want to mess this up.
Her hand goes up, and you see these very just elegant fingers as they swipe up, almost like a puppeteer, swiping up, moving her fingers, maybe casting a spell, as your cloak flies off your back and into her hand. You are the keeper. This is where you keep them. And you bring them, you keep them, you safeguard them to be delivered appropriately to where they need to go.
How do I know where they need to go?
You hold them. I'll take them.
Okay. So how do I know what souls to put in there, or will they know?
All souls come to me. I take them where they belong.
Okay.
And there is more and more confirmation, beyond a doubt, that either this is a avatar of the Raven Queen, or it is the Raven Queen. But there is no doubt that this message is directly from or is her.
Okay.
There is potential here. As my keeper, Jubilee,
Okay.
while they are in your possession, there is a limit, but there is access that you are granted to them. And you feel this sense of innate knowledge well up inside of you. An ability to connect, an ability to commune with these souls. If you abuse this, you will lose it.
Does this mean that I get to, like, if somebody dies, do I talk to them? Do I ask them to go into the cloak? Do they just do it?
Her hand flashes. In an instant, but yet like it took all the detail is there. You recall what happened with Malachi.
Okay.
So through this imagery, she communicates everyone who dies, their soul. If you're in their presence, their soul goes into the cloak. That cloak is a holding space for those souls, for at some point the Raven Queen to take and deliver to the appropriate place.
Wow, okay. This is... Why me?
Why any of us? You are yourself Elven in heritage, correct?
Half, yeah. Yeah.
Well, you are now my keeper. You have limited access. Do not abuse it. Do not lose favor with me, or
I'd
you will
too
be stripped.
scared to do that.
You will be stripped of more than what you know, but not of your life.
So I would just be wandering around completely lost, more so than I already usually am.
Just like you were before I found you.
I don't like that. Have I ever told you that I appreciate you for fixing me?
Not exactly in those words.
I truly don't know where I would be without you. Well, I do, actually. And I wouldn't be able to talk to you or any of my friends.
Roll a percentile dice.
Twice in one night. Okay, it's a 22 this time.
She grins. I know. Her hand reaches out almost as if to caress your cheek. Everything goes black. Rihu, you see like someone who's you know when you take a step in your dream and the step's not there?
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
You see Jubilee just like kick her leg and she wakes up and it's time for the switch.
Like pop awake in a panic.
Oh, that whole thing was a dream.
And although a dream, Jubilee, it is that innate knowledge now of how to commune with these souls is there. It's not a question of if you can. You just never have.
Huh. Well, this'll be fun.
As you hear her just kind of chime in, Rihu, and say these couple words, and you guys can switch. Unless you're wanting to communicate anything in between the switch.
Anything weird that I should know about?
Sorry.
Or at least weird to my standards, I guess.
Only you shooting awake in your sleep.
Well, I had a crazy dream.
Do you say everything that was in the dream, or just that it was a crazy dream?
Well, I mean, it was a crazy dream. The Raven Queen came and visited me, so I don't know if it's real or not, but I learned some more things about myself that maybe aren't true. Because when you have a dream and it feels so real, and then you wake up in the morning and you're like, I don't know if that really happened or not. But I'll let you go to sleep. You should probably go to sleep. Sorry I'm keeping you awake. It was just really crazy. Okay, have a great nap.
I'm just flabbergasted by the info dump that just happened. I'm just going to process and go, thank you. Hope you're watching.
Jubilee, chosen one of the Raven Queen, also the Queen of Word Vomit.
That was beautiful. That was pure beauty.
Jubilee, as you take your watch,
Uh-oh.
it's you and then it's Cricket, correct? You take your watch, and sure enough, to what Rihu said, it is quiet. It is dark. Anything you're wanting to do during your watch?
I just want, you know what? I'm going to go out the lobby doors. Oh, this might be a bad idea. I'm going to go outside and just sit in the fresh air and look around a little bit. I'm not trying to walk off or anything, but just right outside.
Okay.
Listen for some ravens or something.
You get out there, and you notice again all those the lizard folk that you guys had originally stumbled across on the outskirts that have all been sucked of their soul. Sucked dry, as you've seen a couple times with the Satari. And there is a sense of sorrow and anger that randomly wells up inside of you. Specifically geared towards the you are the gatekeeper, and these souls were taken from the body, and they're not traveling the correct path, and it reeks of undead to you.
Oh.
Like of necromancy, I should say. It reeks of a necromantic type of a misuse of that necromantic power.
Am I able to tell that it's souls walking? Oh, because they're undead. Okay. How far away are they?
Well, you don't. So I misspoke. You don't see any undead. These lizard folk that you guys had first came across,
Right.
has a new feeling to you when you see them. Right before it's like, oh, here's these lizard folk. They're dead, and they look a lot like the soul, like the bodies that had their life drained out of them.
Right.
For you, that resonates more now as a soul being removed, and that soul not taking the path it's supposed to take with the Raven Queen. A sense of a misuse of necromantic power.
I don't like it.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know how to find their souls and fix it though. Like once they're taken, where do they go? Because I thought I was supposed to be carrying them.
Yeah.
And I have to do a lot of soul searching about this. I feel like I'm just gonna be real mad a lot.
Soul searching. Nice.
Literal soul searching.
Anything else you wanting to do on your watch?
For once, I don't have worse jokes.
Cricket has watch after me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lean down next to Cricket.
Hey, it's your turn to watch, but have you ever like just really wanted to walk around killing people?
That's what I wake up to.
Not only that, this specifically, saying that is what you wake up to.
Yeah. Immediately I'm like jolted awake because I feel like normally when you wake somebody up for watch, you like, slightly jostle them and be like, okay, it's your turn. And it's just
You
Jubilee
just have a goth clown in your face.
boldly going. Have you ever just wanted to walk around killing a bunch of people? Well, aside from the clear like shock of just of waking up, Cricket is like, I mean, I can't say I've ever had that feeling, no.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering. Nothing
is that
happened.
Is that how you're feeling?
Oh.
I sense a little bit of hesitancy in your response there.
I'll make a deception.
Well, are you actually trying to deceive me?
The problem with Jubilee is she's like very brutally honest. So even if she is, but is like really bad at it.
I wouldn't say I'm like feeling that way, like right this particular second, like right now, but maybe 5 minutes ago. Also maybe 5 minutes from now, but hopefully I'll be sleeping.
One time my mom taught me this phrase called intrusive thoughts. I think that maybe that might be what you're experiencing.
Is that when you have a thought and it just comes out even though you probably shouldn't say it to people?
That also is, yeah, I think that could be part of it. But no, it's more like when you just suddenly get that urge to do something, well, like you said, going around killing a bunch of people. When really, in reality, they probably don't actually want to be killing people.
I mean, I don't know. The Raven Queen told me that I'm carrying her bag of souls now. I think I was sleeping, so maybe it wasn't real, but she said so. In
The
my
Raven
dream.
Queen visited you in your sleep?
Well, maybe. How do I know it wasn't a dream and that it actually happened?
I don't know. I don't worship any sort of god, so I'm not really sure.
Well, so now next time I kill somebody, I'm gonna find out if it's true or not. So now I kind of want to do it.
Well, I have a feeling that might just happen anyways, because we tend to get ourselves in a little bit of trouble. So maybe just wait for that, and then you'll find out.
Are you asking if she's ever wanted to kill people because you want to see what it's like with your new powers? Is that what's going on?
What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what she
You're
wants.
asking
Yeah.
the wrong person.
Yeah,
Go find the one that wants to purge evil.
yeah, that is what
The
I'm
one who
saying.
is evil, excuse me, Mr. Break a
The
hip
one
of
that
an
is
innocent
towing
man.
the line.
Yeah.
Towing the line. So
Purge evil, okay.
Yeah.
That's what you tell yourself.
Mantalord no longer
Yep.
wants to purge evil. He just wants to purge.
Purge evil. Let me just break the old where rat's hip.
What was
It's all
What was
good.
it that I sent in chat? Let's see here.
I don't know what you sent in the chat, but you hip checked an old man and broke his hip. So.
Yeah.
No. Let's
So,
see here.
uh,
Why is Paladin drawing his sword towards his party members? Enter, are you alright? Oh, I'm alright. She tells me you're unclean. I must purge the world. Purge.
So as Cricket, you're waking, and Jubilee, you're laying back down. Is there anything else as you finish out your long rest, Jubilee?
I'm gonna curl up with my cloak and like hold it like a blanket.
And almost like an odd cadence, you know, when you something's just on your mind, that thought of, oh, okay, if I use these candles, if I do this, if I'm in this, I can, and this, and it's just the commune with dead kind of process, which I'll get to you, that is just going through your mind, not heavy, but it's just almost like a memorization that's setting in.
Pre-bedtime ruminating thoughts.
Exactly. Not intrusive. Cricket, as you're on your watch, is there anything you're wanting to do?
Yeah, I'll kind of sit with Bear next to me, and I'm guessing that he sort of is awake when I'm awake as well, and keeps watch with me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pull out Malachi's journal.
Okay.
Since I only really had a chance to like skim it before, and I'm just gonna read through his very weird and ominous and sort of disturbing writings. And I feel like, you know, it's one of those things where there's sort of a sense of calm because, and like completion, because we have made it out alive. I feel like we've sort of, especially with killing Malachi and getting out, we've like a little bit of like closed the chapter on that I don't know, crazy place where we were. Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, is like, I feel like there's also more questions now, because it's like when you get a taste of information, it almost makes it more interesting, because before, I think, you know, Cricket really knew like nothing. So yeah, you just kind of see her like sitting there and thinking and like taking notes in her mom's journal and updating, but calm.
For sure. Okay. And yes, the front doors are closed. Side note, Cricket, Taylor, Katie, have you actually read it?
I read it. I haven't like
Okay.
delved into the
Are there
meaning of it,
particular
but-
questions or anything that, in reading it, that you have that you're like, oh, I want to focus in on? Otherwise, that's fine if not.
No, nothing specific right now.
Okay.
Right now, I'm just getting familiar with it.
Yep. Go ahead and roll a. Just roll an intelligence check.
Not that good. 7.
7. You explain it very well. You're just getting the touch of it, just getting your feet wet with it now. Some things kind of stand out to you, but it comes off as either ominous or dark or twisted or morbid, or you do see some kind of reoccurrence of themes beyond those as well. But especially, I mean, after everything that's gone on already in the last, couple days, you're just drained. So it's hard to glean anything else out at the moment.
As I'm wrapping up my watch shift as well, since I'm the last one, as people are gonna like start waking up and stuff, I also like look around, and like there are so many people here, and I feel like it's like a weird moment where Cricket has like a moment to pause and actually like recognize the fact that just a month ago she was alone with her and Bear for almost a decade of her life, and now she's like got this little found family druid clan of her own, And it's just like comforting to know that there's like people in her life that she cares about and wants to protect, and who care about her.
You reminisce on these thoughts, and it brings a bit of comfort to you, as you are and you're skimming over these writings and your mother's journal, looking at the herbs and the different concoctions that she came up with. Those you start to see Vantalord twitch, jerk in his sleep. Vantalord, in your sleep, clanging of metal, bashing against each other, the sounds of chains dropping, the sounds of scraping and clawing. And instantly in front of you, that vision of the curtain, the translucent curtain that was this city reappears. As you were reaching out to pull it, to see these entities behind it, you hear an utterance. You hear these things colliding with one another.
I start walking towards him, trying to see what's colliding.
You pull it. You look. In front of you, just dust flies everywhere. Chains slam against this creature, this entity, this large beast. As another one, a shadowy figure, stands in a dominating position. As another chain slams, your vision is blurry, and then it comes more and more in focus as this platinum-like dragon lays on the ground, chains being wrapped around the neck, slamming it, holding it to the ground, as this dark entity stands, looming over it, the dragon still fighting.
I cry out in disbelief. Efsu, is that you? What? It can't be. And I start running towards the dragon.
You feel a tug against you, a pull on your very essence, a pull on your soul itself, like a tearing out of you, as you hear this utterance kick in. She moves her hands and she pulls you like a puppet. Please make a wisdom save.
Eleven.
11. You see her smile. You feel the ring itself, almost like your essence is being sucked into the ring. You belong to me now. You see her foot slam down onto the neck of this dragon. This very demonic feminine entity, as she, like a puppet, is toying with you, pulling her towards you.
I continue trying to run towards Psu. Just because you think that I belong to you doesn't mean that he should suffer. The keyword there is think.
Say that again.
The keyword there is think. Just because you think I belong to you doesn't mean he needs to suffer. And I keep trying to go against that puppet feeling, that essence.
She, unhindered by you, as you fail to save, your will is to move towards him, roughly the same direction as her as she looms over him. But you feel your entity actually going towards her. You see her in better and better light as these massive wings protrude from her back. A very lizard-like, devilish wings protrude from her. You'd never stood a chance. Every time you did my work, I owned you more and more.
As she said that, I'm like, I don't think it was your voice that I heard.
You wanted the power. You wanted to protect all that is around you, and I showed you how. I have the ability to give you that power to rule by me in all the 9 hells. Your lack
Why did you have to bind him?
No. It's not me. She steps off. And everything warps. It twists. She's standing beside you. You're placing the chains on the dragon.
As I look at him, how many chains are on him?
Massive chains as they're wrapped around his neck and his legs. His wings are, you're actively strapping his wings down. I would say there's 18 to 30. At some point they wrap around so much it's hard to tell one from the other, but you could easily say probably between 18 and 30 of these massive chains.
I look at the ring on my hand. Is it doing anything right?
Is it doing anything right now?
Is it glowing? Or is it still like that dull? Because the number that you say, like, in Vantor's mind, it starts coming back broken. Fair amount of contracts. Is this what I was doing?
The ring itself, it is like a will of its own that has merged with yours. It does have a slight glow to it. A very soft hue, almost like a black light, right? Where it is at times you can tell that there's this illumination that's coming off of it. And it very much resembles a glow that comes from these chains. And the overlap with your own desire and will, like you're literally being torn in what you think and what you're feeling. You Vantalord, you chose every single time. You chose, not me. These bonds, this damage, this wound. This is your fault. You're mine. You know you want it.
I look at her and say, let me say one thing to Apsu then.
You see,
I walk up to
when you say his name, the massive eye flutters open. And you still see strength in this dragon. You still see that there's fight and force and everything that you've known in Apsu is there, but not.
I walk up to him and look at the chains. As I'm walking up, I just look at him and say, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. I reach and grab a chain and I try to pull it up.
The weight is heavy. It, like a vibration, resonates within you. You can lift it, but it's heavy. You see one of his claws move, his wing flexes, but he's stuck. He's unable to connect.
Go back up to him and go, strength one last time. You don't deserve this, and you don't deserve you. You're far better than this. And I go back to the chains with all my might, trying to lift him up.
Make a will save.
As I'm doing this, I'm like, power shouldn't define the ability to protect. It should be the will. 13.
The one thing of him that isn't chained and bonded is his head. Literally just a portion of his neck and his head. Like a snapping turtle. Unable to get its head around to actually do anything. He can move a little. And he turns, and you see now both eyes, these massive eyes, as you hear in your mind, it isn't a matter of if I deserve it. You have no control of my destiny. You still don't see what they were teaching you. And he blinks, and Cricket, you see Vantalord wake up in a violent
Is everything okay?
As she says that, she just sees me break down.
Clearly not. Do you want to talk about it?
I don't even know how to start. All those contracts I was breaking with the stupid ring. As I say that, I'm gonna try taking that ring off.
It's stuck.
I just saw Psu literally chained by my sins. By my wrongdoings trying to break all of these. Now I've got some demon fighting over my soul, chaining Epsu. Tried lifting his chains up. Tried to free him. Just couldn't do it.
Did Absu talk to you?
Very last thing he said is, I told him, as a god, he didn't deserve what I did to him. The only thing he said to me is, it doesn't matter if I deserve it. I didn't have any control over his destiny. Right before I woke up, he says, I still don't see what they were teaching me.
Do you think you still have a choice? Or has that already been made?
I honestly don't know. No, the person I've dedicated my life to serving is suffering.
Well, I don't know much about gods or how to serve them, but from my experience with the natural world, every day is a new day, and you always have a choice to decide what you do with that. So if I think you've got to make a decision and what that means for you and your God. Obviously, only you know, but I don't think you're ever really stuck in a dead end.
As Crit says that, I just continue to realize if that vision is true, how many other people could be hurting because of Epsu being chained.
And with pondering thoughts and a quiet morning, each of you, one by one, begin to stir, begin to wake. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
So much drama.
Everyone's having weird ass dreams.
I know. Well, not
I-
everybody. The
I had
two
a perfectly
chaotic
normal
people
night.
are having
Yeah.
weird ass dreams. Yeah.
The two people that aren't sure what their alignment is.
The two people whose alignment changes every day.
Oh man.
All right. Well, a little bit of action, a little bit of wondering if you guys were going to die by that last golem. Thankfully, the right people got in front of him.
I think Mantelord was the only one who could take hits and not be
Yeah.
seriously.
I think one of those would have knocked a couple of you out.
Yeah, I was down to 9 hit points.
Yeah, how much damage did you take? Like 30 something damage in like that
Oof.
one?
Almost.
This year I started off at 23 and 16, so 39 points of damage.
Yeah, I would have been on.
No
the
one
ground
else would have survived that.
No.
And you guys are able to hit that long rest button. Full health and all your abilities back.
Yay.
Oh, we get full health.
Oh,
Yep.
we're doing
Yeah.
full health? Oh.
Yeah, we changed it.
That's right, I forgot we changed that. Oh, I need to fix that. I
Yep.
went back in and adjusted it to not full because I thought we...
Yep, full health.
Part of it is we wanted to be able to have bigger battles.
That's right,
remember?
that's right. I do remember us doing that last time.
It can kind of speed along how much we can do in a session.
Mhm.
Yeah. It allows Rory to really whack at us and not feel guilty.
Whack.
So with that, let's go ahead and go through Ryder. Who does your star go to, and what is your wish?
Star actually goes to Cricket because when we did the vines, that was the spell you casted was pretty sweet. The 10 feet, and then also using the staff was very very creative. So it's my star. Wishes. Ooh. Gosh, I don't know. It's kind of an open canvas coming into next session. So wishes are that probably leave the swamp behind for good in the relatively near future, but that's about it.
Looks like
You want
Taylor.
to spend another month? Huh?
Looks like Taylor dropped off. Not sure if she had some tech issues. Let's go ahead and go to Raja.
Computer restarted.
My star would go to. I think my star would go to Vantalord for really playing out his battling within himself. So even though he's like supposed to be the most righteous one here, he ran into the little rat guy, and then he's got his whole dream, and he played it really well. Really brought the emotion into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then for my wish, I think I just want to see some other people go to town.
He's sick of us.
Like, I want to go to a store. I love shopping.
Need to
I haven't
fix
been
my
able to go
armor, dang it.
shopping.
Raja's the diva of the group, for sure. As evidenced earlier by all the hair counting.
What's that number up to, Pat? I think I saw 15 as the last count.
Oh, it was 20. It was
20.
20, and then he stopped
Oh.
counting.
Oh.
Let's hop over to Vantalord.
Then I started messing with.
Oh man.
Star and wish.
I say I wish Julie was still in here. It's got to be her, that interaction she had with the Raven Queen, and then just word dumping on that shift. That was. I'm pretty sure I heard my wife go, "Why are you laughing?" And as the wish is either one, I want to figure out this weird chest,
Okay.
or two, I fix my armor. I need my AC back.
That's right. You're down 3 on your AC.
Yeah. For an indeterminate amount of time until I get back to a blacksmith.
Mm-hmm.
Want my 19 AC back.
Makes a difference.
Yes, it
I mean, you
does.
can join the Squishy Persons Club with me and Jubilee, who are like sitting around 12 AC.
But I want to protect you guys. I'm the meat shield.
And Cricket.
I'm gonna give my star to Raja. Well, Raja and Skylar, because I loved the comedy of him messing with a chat and just leaning heavily into the jokes that were coming. But also Raja, for I feel like keeping us moving, because to be honest, I don't think any of us would have opened the door knowing there is an elemental thing on the other side. And he was like, nah, you know what? We're just gonna fight this thing right now. Despite the fact that all of us are almost dead. But I feel like that was good and got us like to actually get to resolve some things, and I feel like Raja in general just keeps that going, like keeps us pushing forward.
Yeah.
My wish is change of setting. I'm excited to like have not swamp and and like just and also the like newness that comes with some new setting of like whether it's new troubles, new allies, new people. Oh, also, I guess this is a secondary wish, but we have the were rats with us. I want to see them like safely somewhere. So like we worked this hard to get them all the way out of the place. I didn't take poison for nothing, and so I don't know whether that's like at his estate or something. It would also be very fun to have some just like lingering connection to them, whether it's like a home base we can come back to. Not that I want to be in the swamp anymore ever, but I don't know. Yeah, something like that would be cool.
All right.
You know what, the home base that Bram gave us back in Woods Edge? If we ever get back.
I'm trying to get out of Woods Edge, man. That's my hometown. Goodbye.
She wants to travel.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that was awesome. I was worried about you guys walking out to that last elemental, because if it had been anyone other than Vantalord getting hit, it would have been. It could have been bad. It could have been bad.
I think we would have scraped by. Like I have a healing potion or maybe two that I haven't used.
I've got a couple that I've been hanging on to.
Vantalord's hoarding everything, all the healing, his lay on hands, his spell slots. How do you end that? How do you end that? Like 3 massive fights with 4 spell slots.
So I have 2 right now, but I have a bonus action that allows me to get 2 of my level 2s back. And I was if that combat had continued, I would have used them. So
I mean, it's good that you were hoarding, because then you were able to take a bunch of damage at the end.
Yes.
Yep.
So there is a method to my madness. I haven't found it yet, but I know there is one.
And because I just remembered, let me go ahead and see if.
Jay's
Oh
on.
yeah, she's probably sitting in the waiting room.
Oh, that too. I don't think she is though. No, she's not.
Maybe she's
Probably
not.
not.
Okay.
She's not. Lord Gazumba. There you are. Let's start this raid.
Ooh, thanks for the follow.
Oh, do we even have any XP to give for that long rest? Didn't we just take a long rest?
Well, we have like the Malachi fight and also getting out. I don't know if we got XP for
Yeah, I
this
think it's
thing.
been a couple sessions, right?
Yeah, the last long rest we had was when we were we had just met Thaddeus. Before it was before the snake, before Malachi, and before the thing leaving.
Yeah. So there'll be some XP. There's some big fights in there. Yes, go ahead and do the thing. Do the thing.
So,
as we all do.
If you are watching, if you are watching and have not followed, if you followed and not subscribed, if you have subscribed and your subscription has lapsed, finally, if you are currently subscribed and not part of our fantastic Discord community, we have one question for you today.
What are you doing? And I think if I hit this button now.
Yes, hands.
Yeah, that's right. Thieves can't.
Thieves can't. Let's see
I
if it takes us
believe we
offline.
are
Okay, the
over.
raid